Is this event banner really worth your pulls? Welcome back to Corki Gachas, and in this video I'm going to discuss the brand new event banner Abundance in the Water and whether you guys should be pulling for it. But short answer, I don't think it's recommended for people to pull on it, but there are also some reasons why you might potentially want to pull for this. First, we have to evaluate the banner, and you can see on your screen this is made up of 4 different units and only 4 units. So this is what's special about this special event banner. It's only going to contain Malenia, A-Knight, Voyager, as well as lastly Unli. So 25% chance to get either of these units since there are no other 6 stars. And this might seem good, right? You might be thinking, hey, if I want Malenia or if I want Unli, and if I want both, right, it's a 50% chance that I get what I want. It's the same as a normal rater, but the problem lies with the banner mechanics. And first, the problem with it is that the PT itself remains 70. This is not a event banner previously like Golden Thread whereby there is a lowered PT. This one remains the same, and on top of that, the PT does not carry forward. Meaning, if you were to pull 10 pulls, 20 pulls, and you run out of pulls, you cannot carry this PT onto 6 banner, you cannot carry this PT onto 37 banner or subsequent banners that you are saving for. You can't do that. So PT doesn't carry forward, and being 70 PT for event banner, I think this is not that good. And on top of that, the units themselves, although they are good units, but the notable fact is all of these units have already been added into the standard pool. So if you were to pull for 60 or 6 banner subsequently and you lose your 50-50, there's a chance you already get one of these units, right? And the fact is, this is not a targeted one. 25% is lower than 50%, so even if you want to target one of those units, you cannot do so. And what is more, there is no losing of 50-50 because there is no specific rate up. All 4 of these units are on rate up. Hence, if you were to get A-Knight for your first 6 star and you really want Unli or Malenia, there's no guarantee to say that your second 6 star that you continue pulling for will be either of those units. So I think all of this mixed up, the banner mechanics make it extremely non-lucrative to pull on this banner. And also on top of that, I want to say is that these units, right, there are potential replacements coming for them within next rate up banners, and the first one being A-Knight. A-Knight is pretty much replaceable by any of the AoE DPS that you can expect, and then 1.5, right, Jessica is also going to be added to the common pool, the standard pool, alongside 2 Fairy, which is also a premium unit that beginners that have missed 1.2 really want to catch on. So either of these units will be good, and as with the game itself, from what I can see, right, the power creep is coming in, so later units are going to get stronger and stronger. So it makes sense even if you are just saving for Chunyang 1.6 crazy AoE as well as single target. So in that sense, right, the stocks of old standard units are going to drop significantly as we move along the patches. And then for Unli, there is 6 in replacement for lower half of 1.4. For Malenia, Spatodia is coming. If you don't have Malenia, Spatodia can be a good potential replacement. I wouldn't say that I prefer one over the other, but of course, with Isot being released, right, if you do not have a Beast DPS, Spatodia can be attractive since you can also pair it with Isot as a burn support. And lastly, Voyager, there is 37. So the support role, of course, it is not exactly the same, but in the future, 37 can support Chunyang on, and also if you need a hyper carry in Star Afflictors, 37 can do so. So all of them have replacements. The banner mechanics also have problems. This is why I think it is not really recommended. However, on the flip side, there is also a reason why I would recommend this to certain groups of people, notably to beginners. And for beginners, I understand the problem with pull advice. A lot of times, right, we'll say, hey, skip this, skip that, skip this, skip that, and you might think, okay, I'll keep saving until I get the good banner, the meta banner, if you're really going for meta. And the problem with that as a beginner is because you do not have the luxury to take in that many pull decisions whether to skip. Most of the time, I recommend beginners to just pull so that you can round up your box. Even if you have limited income, which shouldn't be the case as a beginner because you have chapters 1 to 4 to clear, you have all the bonds that you have not actually gotten. The bonds actually give a lot of clear drops, so your pull income should be at a notable high. Even if you want to get like 6, you can definitely get 1 or 2 more 6 stars, definitely. So I don't see that being a pull problem for beginners, and it's not like these units are bad at all, right? They're not featuring New Babel, Lilia, this kind of units. No. They are actually featuring legit units, right? A-Knight being a Spirit Afflictors unit can be used on all the content quite notably, and also with the introduction of Balance Please in the second half, you can put it on A-Knight to make him even stronger. Unli is a premier support unit, and even if you have 6, you can also get Unli so that you can round up your Limbo teams. And then also Malenia is a strong single target DPS that you really want to have, right? If given the chance as a beginner, it's going to help you clear a lot of content, and she's a U2 god. And lastly, for Voyager, she's going to be a good support unit with the sturdiness factor. So all these units are good. What I'm just saying is that since most people have limited currency, right, these units being in the standard pool are not that good. But as a beginner, this is premier choice for you, right? So definitely just go for it. Don't care too much about the future when you haven't even settled the current content. So clearing Limbo, utmost priority, and this is also why I recommend this for beginners. And also, despite the fact that I mentioned just now the PD is 70, technically it's 63, right? Because they are giving 7 free pulls. So everyone should be pulling for this 7 free times. However, you have to wait for 7 days. So if you really want to go for a discount factor, right, wait till the 7 days, see whether you get the 6-star unit. If you don't get it, then you can start pulling for it to enjoy the lower PT rate if you really were to get unlucky. So these are the 2 reasons why I think it might be recommended to pull for this banner. And for people that are already looking to pull on this banner, I have some tips or guidelines for you guys so that you can optimize your experience of this banner. And the first one being that I will only suggest you to pull for 1 6-star. So do not go for multiple 6 stars on this banner, particularly because first, right, you cannot have remaining PT being carried forward, and also you might end up having portraits. I'm not saying that portraits are bad, but in my opinion, I think, especially if you're not a whale, right, going for portraits is not optimal. It's best to get more characters, and since this one does not have that 50-50 aspect, you cannot guarantee that you will get a new character subsequently on your second pull. So this is the reason why I say so. And also on top of that, right, it comes in with the PT of 63, right? The 63 only lies in the first 6-star pool that you have, because the 7 free pools, right, only occur 1 time. So that's the fact. So if you want to enjoy the 63 PT, wait till the 7th day, and then you can go for this 63 PT. After that, subsequently, you will not have free pools to technically lower the PT, right? And finally, a really important point is a word of caution. If you do not think that you are able to accumulate enough pools to guarantee that you will hit a 6-star, that means if you were to get the most unlucky 70 PT, 63 PT, whatever that is, right, do not end on a non-6-star unit. Once you get the 6-star, right, leave your bags and go home. I want to say this again, the PT does not carry forward. It will not move on to your 6th banner. It will not move on to your subsequent banners. Do not be surprised when you see that, hey, I already put 20 times and yet this 20 times does not add to my 6th banner, and that's why I'm going to miss 6. And you're going to be thinking about how your Reverse 1999 journey could have been so much better if you didn't pull on this so-called event banner. I don't think this is the best event banners, but if you want to pull for it, these are my tips so that you can maximize the chances of you coming out ahead, right, when you pull for this specific event banner. Of course, right, this is not the only banner that is dropping in 1.4. In fact, some of you guys might be thinking whether you should be pulling for 37, and if that's the case, definitely check out this video over here. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.